Hey everyone! Welcome back to this channel on narcissism, narcissistic relationships, and healing from narcissistic relationships, as well as the myriad questions that come up. And this is a very common question. A viewer writes in, were you raised by a narcissistic parent? If so, what are some tips to find out? Let's take this question on. It's a great one, and thank you for writing in. I would say that if you're asking yourself this question, the answer is probably yes. You were probably raised by a narcissistic parent, but I know you want more clarity and more information than that. So let's break it down. First of all, when we use the term narcissistic parent, it's important to remember that we're not talking about a parent who maybe sometimes is a little critical or overly demanding or makes mistakes. We're talking about patterns that may be pathological and significantly impair a person's sense of self, their identity, their ability to have healthy attachments, their ability to regulate, and their ability to empathize with others and set boundaries. Narcissistic parenting is really a form of emotional abuse. And again, these are patterns. So let's talk about some of the things to look for. A lack of empathy. Was there anyone in your family, either a parent or parents, who did not have empathy for your experiences? Did they dismiss your feelings? Or tell you that you were making too big a deal of something, or minimize what was happening to you, or gaslight you about how you experienced something? A lack of empathy is a key element of narcissism. And if you didn't have any empathy modeled for you growing up, or worse, you had empathy shamed, then you likely grew up with at least one narcissistic parent. Number 2, rejection of accountability. The narcissistic parent rejects accountability. Instead, they blame other people for what's gone wrong, or make excuses for their behavior, or shift the responsibility onto someone else, usually the other parent or perhaps onto the children. A hallmark of narcissism is a lack of accountability. There's never enough remorse or apology. They may even punish you for pointing out the problematic nature of their behavior. Number 3, being the center of the universe. Was there a parent in your life who talked a lot about themselves, their achievements, their status, their beauty, their possessions? Did they hold themselves up as a kind of standard of perfection, whether real or imagined? Did they speak of other people, including you, as mere accessories to their life story? That's the way children see their parents. We naturally put our parents up on a pedestal. So if you recognize those patterns, chances are you had a narcissistic parent. Number 4, contempt. Did you have a parent who spoke to you or about you with contempt? Contempt is a real sign of underlying narcissistic dynamics. It can show up as sarcasm, mockery, eye-rolling, disgust. It can show up as name-calling or put-downs or constant criticism. Parents who have contempt for their children communicate that they don't respect their children. And while disrespect is often present in many dysfunctional family systems, contempt takes it to another level. It communicates that the child is less than the parent and can leave a legacy of shame and self-devaluation in a child. Number 5, excessive criticism. Criticism is a part of many family systems, but it becomes excessive criticism when it's constant, when it's about every little thing, and when it seems to be about undermining you. Excessive criticism leaves children feeling like they never do anything right and can easily lead to children pleasing their parents or becoming anxious around them. Children whose parents excessively criticize them grow up believing that they have to earn love and may struggle with perfectionism or fear of failure. Number 6, triangulation. This is a good one because this is a huge pattern in many narcissistic family systems. Did you grow up with a parent who involved other people in family disputes in order to get support for their side of the argument? Triangulation is using other people, usually scapegoating them or putting them in the middle of a dispute. It's using other people to spy on your private conversations, to spread misinformation or gossip, or to undermine your relationships. This is very destabilizing for a child. When parents triangulate, they model that you can't trust anyone, and that loyalty is a complicated issue. Number 7, withholding. Withholding is a powerful form of control, and narcissistic parents use it for that purpose. Was there a parent who withheld affection, attention, or resources until you met their demands? This could include love, praise, connection, food, money, transportation, participation in your life, or special events. Withholding creates tremendous power struggles within a family system and teaches children that they have to be constantly vigilant and monitoring the whims of the adult in charge. Number 8. Abandonment. Some form of abandonment is often present in a child's life if they have a narcissistic parent. Now, this doesn't mean that the parent literally leaves the child. It means emotionally. Was there a parent who wasn't there for you when you needed them? Who didn't comfort you when you cried? Who didn't protect you? Who didn't show up for you at a school event or a piano recital? Who wasn't interested in your life, activities, or friends? Who rejected you, either physically or emotionally, when you reached out for comfort or support? Number 9. Denial and projection. Did your parents deny things that were obvious to you? Projection. Did your parents deny things that were obvious to you? Did they project their own mistakes onto you or onto each other? Denial and projection are common patterns used by narcissistic people to avoid accountability. And when used over time, these patterns teach children that they can't count on their parents for accurate information and that they may have to lie to protect themselves. Number 10. Lying. Lies can be a part of every family system, but narcissistic parents lie to maintain their false self-image or to avoid accountability. Or they may lie to you to manipulate you. For example, saying that you have a nice new toy when you don't want to play with them, or saying that you need to behave better, or else you won't get a reward. The problem with these lies isn't that they're small white lies. It's that they communicate that the parent is not honest with you, and that you can't count on them for the truth. Number 11. A focus on looks, status, money, or power. One key sign of narcissistic parenting is a focus on external markers of success, such as looks, status, money, or power. These parents believe that having these things makes them superior to other people, and they instill that belief in their children. And number 12. Magical thinking. Does your parent believe in lucky charms or lucky numbers or superstitions? Magical thinking is a defense mechanism where wishes are substituted for reality. If I don't have my lucky ring, I will not win this contest. Magical thinking protects the ego, and it does not allow for realistic problem-solving or taking responsibility. So if you answered yes to several of these questions, chances are you were raised by a narcissistic parent or parents. However, please keep in mind that these are just 12 of the many signs of narcissistic parents, and none of this is meant to serve as a diagnosis. That said, if you were raised by a narcissistic parent, it's very likely that you will experience challenges in your adult relationships. Why? Because the role of a parent is to help a child differentiate from them and to help the child develop into a separate, healthy individual. When that process gets disrupted, as it does with narcissistic parents, it affects a person's development. If you were raised by a narcissistic parent, you may have difficulty setting boundaries, regulating your emotions, identifying and meeting your own needs, developing a positive self-image, finding your voice, having healthy empathy for others, and knowing how to seek out and accept help. Additionally, you may struggle with low self-esteem and people-pleasing, and you may have a hard time trusting your intuition, speaking up for yourself, and maintaining healthy relationships because you were raised in an unhealthy environment. Now, just because you were raised by a narcissistic parent doesn't mean you're doomed. Many people overcome the challenges of narcissistic abuse. It's also possible to heal from narcissistic abuse, but recognizing the impact of your childhood can be a vital first step on that journey. In fact, understanding how you were impacted by your childhood increases the likelihood that you can break the cycle. You can become more aware of the patterns and start to create new ones for yourself. Thanks again for tuning in. If you liked this video, please show your support. Give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and leave a comment in the comments section. See you next video.